Hello friends, come spend a slow day in winter with me. It's the time when I am most inclined to do things that are low energy, slow and cozy. Things that help me recharge and feel like myself again. I spend most of the time at home, with an occasional walk in nature, as despite how this looks, the days have been cold, grey and dreary most often than not, only occasionally treating us with a rare ray of sunshine. I wanted to talk to you about being a naturally low energy person. You know, I've always known that I'm one, but it took me years to admit and come to terms with it, in a world that frowns upon anything that might come across as lazy. I was constantly trying to fit into the high-energy society around me, masking and often presenting as an extrovert as well. But here's the thing, slow living, doing low-energy activities in wintertime, is far from lazy. In fact, it comes from a mindset of being gentle with yourself when your mind and body need it most, in order to recharge and have energy for your better version of self. One thing that was important for me to come to terms with is that I don't always need to be the best version of myself, though. In fact, it's rather unrealistic. We all have days when we simply need to exist, as much as we have the days when we shine and strive. Both are equally as important, and it's healthy to allow ourselves to be both. This was what this day was for me, a day to simply exist in my own pace, in my own being. This is the time when I process life the most, when I let my mind quiet down, when I come to deeper realizations and understandings. I realized that I always did my best when I was alone, left to my own devices, rather than in stressful, busy social environment. Over the years, of course, I learned to enjoy the hustle and bustle too. After all, I spent good 10 years of my life in London, which is far from calm and peaceful. But as much as I loved it, I don't think I would ever do it again. I still love the city, but I love my quiet life in the countryside even more. Hi, I'm gonna have to go and do something that I have been putting off for a very long time, which is tackle the garden and specifically the overgrown climbing rose that I have growing outside. And I've been putting it off because it's so grey and miserable and windy today, but it really needs to be done. I think it's already kind of long overdue. I really don't like doing it because the rose leaves thorns in my fingers, even though I wear gloves and I'm just incapable of protecting myself from it. But it has to be done. And right now, you are the ones motivating me. So you're gonna come with me into the cold. But it's kind of still at home because it's the garden. So it's kind of like going outside without really going outside. Come with me. Sometimes I think about how much my life changed after moving to the countryside. I'm not sure my 16-year-old self would be happy to know who I've become. But equally, as a 30-year-old self, I can now see so many unhealthy ways, patterns, and beliefs I had back then. There we go. That's the overgrown rose right behind me. And we're gonna do something about it. When I was 16, honestly, I was dreading becoming who I am right now. Look at me, gardening, tidying up, being a sensible adult instead of playing in a rock band, which is all I wanted to do back then. Things are different, but I don't think that they are worse. Some people might say, you've changed. But in reality, all I did was become my actual self. Not a perceived notion of who I am supposed to be, who I always thought I was supposed to be trying to fit in, but the real person I hid away from everyone in the deepest corners of my soul for the longest time. It's strange, and I am still processing this journey of becoming, and if you're interested to go deeper into this subject, let me know. I think I have a lot of ideas brewing in my head. It's the process of stripping back all of these layers, of removing the unhealthy foliage you've grown so diligently to allow yourself to regrow and become a healthier being. Yes, I really am drawing parallel with my garden, but fine, so be it. After a few days of rain, I decided to go out on a walk again to find little signs of spring. It feels like flowers and buds on trees decided to pop up earlier this year. I'm finding daffodils, sometimes even blooming ones, snowdrops, almond blossoms, and catkins on my way each time. It makes me so happy to see these signs of spring. While I am appreciating winter time and I'm not trying to hurry seasons, these little signs are indeed giving me hope. Back home, I decided to bake some apples for breakfast next morning. I actually don't like raw apples, but I keep buying them in attempts to encourage healthy snacking. It doesn't work, so dessert for breakfast it is. Making things from scratch and enjoying them quietly with a book, sometimes in bed on Sundays, feels ceremonious and purposefully slow. Of course, it's unnecessary to do it all. Grind coffee by hand, make loose tea, or make an elaborate breakfast. Or sometimes it's even impossible with the little amount of time we've got. But I try to pick one thing, if not every day, then at least on the weekend, which I do purposefully and unnecessarily slow. There is something so soothing in doing things that are unnecessary. I'd like to try and do more of that. I hope you are having a wonderful winter so far. Thank you for listening to my musings yet again. I will see you again very soon.